Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, free enterprise fans around the world, and welcome to this week's rendition of the Baron Hero's Journey, featuring Tella as your hero, Sid as your only character, Alchemy as commentator 1, and myself, Possum Morpheus, as commentator 2, Asuka as runner number 1, and Tybalt as runner number 2. Alchemy, this is your flag set. This is your baby. This one's super fun. I played one of these. What are you looking for today in this race?
I'm looking for nonsense for the most part, and it seems that Asuka has the right idea because she swapped Tella and Sid's names. And this flag set is very silly. It has Eno XP, which is kind of like spooky. It also has Force Hook. But the thing is, it's S wild with Cell Quarter and also T wild, so anything can show up anywhere. And there is no adamant flag, so any chest you can open could have an adamant armor just waiting for you. So this might be one of the stringiest flag sets I've ever made for this club, and we just have to revel in the chaos.
Yeah, I think it's going to be an absolutely fantastic time. The limitation on characters is quite interesting because the normal issue with T Wild is you come across so much good stuff, you don't know what to sell and what not to sell. Well, now that problem is solved because if Tella can't use it and Sid can't use it, you just sell it. And then you get all the money for all of those nice shiny things in S Wild. So I'm looking forward to seeing how our runners manage their inventory, what they look to find, whether they focus on looting or shopping. And we'll see if the Queen of the Puffs, Asuka, can do some work here, or if Tybalt, the King of Sniping, getting sniped and usually losing by about a minute because of it, unfortunately. We'll see if he can turn the tide and do some damage of his own and come out ahead on one of these. I would love to see that as well.
So an explanation for this weird flag set. This is the Dr. Lugae's hero's journey. So the idea is that Tella represents Dr. Lugae and Sid represents Barnabas Mark II, an army of his newest robot. I like it because it's like big and clumsy and slow, just like Sid is, and it should be fun.
Yeah, and I mean, there is no better character than Sid to represent being, well, big and clumsy and slow. Maybe not clumsy so much, but big and slow. That is Sid. And oh, hey, look, it's a Sid joining Tella. Who would have thunk it? An adamant
Oh,
rock and
that's
an Odin.
that's an objective. Oh, well, half of it. So the idea for this flag set is that um, Dr. Lugae wants to take all of the technology and make it his. So he's gonna scale all the towers and even the Giant of Babel to, like, in quotations, steal the tech. And he has his robots.
Yeah, and those robots are definitely going to help him do just that. And we'll see where our runners opt to go here. Tybalt heading right over to Troya, Asuka heading immediately over to Damsian. These are two spots that definitely make sense because with T Wild, the best stuff can be anywhere. So it certainly makes sense to just go for the density of treasure as opposed to the normal quality of treasure that you would see. So, for example, there's a Zeus gauntlet hanging out,
Ooh,
two Zeus gauntlets in Damsian Basement, and an Artemis bow from the freebie. That's some big time stuff for this
nice.
team.
The thing is that in T Wild you wanna go for density of chests over, the usual, is this out of the way or whatever. Because, like, Damsian Basement has a lot of chests clumped together. Troya has a lot of chests clumped together, so it's great. It could be anything fantastic.
Yeah, and you don't want to worry about places that have trap chests. So things, for example, like Eblin, that everyone loves to go to. Not actually good on this flag set. T Wild trap chests are frankly very underwhelming. And the loot there, well, there's no point in running into traps because you're just looking for the best stuff anywhere. And speaking of the best stuff, not that this party can use it, that's just an Avenger hanging out in the shop there. Yeah, can't buy that.
So the neat thing about this is that anything that your party can't use money. As since it's just money, you're just looking for places to dump, both to dump the things that you don't need, and also to buy the things that you need. So an interesting way is looting and then checking a new shop and dropping the items that you don't need, and then checking and then looting again, checking another shop and dropping the items in that shop. So that way you keep your inventory uncluttered while you keep checking shops.
Yeah, and it's not going to be surprising to see our runners in the 80s to 100s for loot count by the end of this, because they're going to be doing a lot of looting. They're going to be doing a lot of shopping, and it's just kind of the byproduct of the T Wild S Wild environment that that's what you end up with. You need to find stuff relevant to your party or the money to afford stuff for your party, and that is particularly difficult with S quarter.
The good thing about the shops is that it's like a lot of items that are static, but chests are like a single item. So every chest that you don't loot is something you need probably. That's how it goes. But, like, shops are just there. You can check them anytime, and you're already checking shops to sell items that you don't need. So it's convenient, especially in this flag set combination. It is more convenient that just having T Wildish alone, which you might go. There's no need for me to buy much because any chest could be what I need. But in this case, your equipment options are way more limited.
Definitely, and I do want to point out, Asuka, speaking of limited equipment, did find a white shirt. That is the best armor for Tella outside of exactly adamant armor. So that is a huge pickup already for Asuka to keep that Tella safe. Because one of the things is with the Ordeals check, with Tella being the hero, Tella's going to have to fight that alone. And a piece of gear like a white shirt can actually make that doable. The damage will still, need to be a problem that's figured out. But that defensive capability from the white shirt is huge from Asuka. And I don't think Tibalt's going to get that because he's fading the rest of Watery Pass.
It, so the thing is for the solo fight in Ordeals with Tella, what you want are J items for sure. Either that or like a Stardust Rod if you manage to find one. but for the most part, just like J items are the key to victory.
Oh, back in my day, Alchemy, we took a power staff and a karate gi tella and we bopped things to death.
That is also an option. It's kind of, not ideal, but it is an option.
It was in the spirit of Lugae and his robots to just kind of bop things. That's what we were going for. It didn't work, but we tried it.
I mean, that's how the fight works. It didn't work, but we tried it.
But we do see Tybalt heading into Antlion Cave here, going to give us our first peek. Comes across a life staff. I think Asuka also found a life staff in Watery Pass. So a lot of good loot for this Tella. End game, that Tella actually will do some work with a white shirt and the life staff. Those will be near, if not at, quad-digit cure 4s, which I know might sound ridiculous for normal white mages, but for Tella, that's really heckin' good.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, Taylor can put in some work. So, one of the things that our racers might want to see is, well, some Cure 3s in shops or Bacchus, because Tella is a great support caster, but he's like, him alone is a bit lacking in a party of fighters. You might want to need some backup on top of him.
Yeah, and worth noting that we now have another Artemis bow that's been located in the Antlion Cave.
Ooh.
So that is 2 Artemis bows. We're a little lacking for arrows, but that's huge for the Sids. They really lack in agility more than anything else. So that plus 10 agility, also alchemy, the button, the randomizer button, we've forgotten to hit it.
We randomized enough with the characters. Don't at me.
Okay. I mean, I can't even make like C maybe jokes today because this is designed to be just Sid. So
Sid maybe? No, Sid certainly. So apparently, Asuka found a Soma drop. That's nice. Also,
money out of 10.
This is two weekends in a row where we get a no Cecil seed, and once again, there's the crystal swords showing up in droves.
That's good though, because that's what, 31,750 gold or something like that. Crystal sword represents a huge portion of a future item, a future weapon, armor. That's a really good pickup, even if it's not a key item or progression for our runners. Also worth noting, I see some star veils here, which Tybalt may want to consider. And a couple J items like vampires were there too. Those are really helpful for the solo fight on on Ordeals. But having all of this high-powered gear to sell, I'm surprised we're not seeing folks look more for like the life potions, cure 2s, camping gear, kind of those creature comforts, instead of just relying on the beefy boys and Tella.
Yeah, one of the reasons why I didn't put any starting kits, like I actually put fitting starting kits to help place out and to get a theme going, but this time I didn't put any, exactly to incentivize folks to go ahead and check shops, just to go and check the item shop and also the equipment shop, or the other way around. So we'll see how much shopping our racers do.
And we saw Asuka take an extended stay at the Carter administration chest. That's a chest that has not been checked since that administration was in power. So kudos to Asuka for the extended stay.
But honestly, it's kind of interesting that Tybalt hasn't gotten his full party of seats yet. I guess he doesn't feel like he has enough equipment for all of them or something. Why even bother?
The other thing is, as you gain more and more party members, you have to parry turns. So it's actually detrimental to get more than 2 or 3 well-equipped party members, because you have to take extra actions. So by keeping the party small, or at least small to the point of having people who can do things, if you have let's say 2 Sids with arty bows and one with like an axe or something, you would want 3 Sids. But if you only have, let's say, one arty bow, you probably don't want too many Sids. You probably don't want too many characters. You'll also naturally pick up those characters as you go through ordeals, through Baron Inn, and things like that. Also, where are the key items? That's a Protect Ring from Fabul to go with the Crystal Sword from Antlion Cave. So not too much in the way of key items so far.
All the key items are in summon spots, obviously.
Ah.
Wait, no. Hold on, I forgot my own. No, they are in the moon. Sorry, K summon is off. K moon is on. There you go. I knew I was forgetting something. So they're all in the moon, probably.
I mean, I'm personally here for that. Force everyone to go to the moon and the giant and fight all those awful things. With no cursed ring, with wonky agility and a bunch of Sids. Also of note, I at least haven't seen Bacchus wines. I know in the one test seed I did of this, I think I bought like 30 of them and honestly kind of didn't buy a ton of other things. Bacchus wine is just immensely important for this party, as you kind of highlighted earlier. It is to me, the single most important item that our runners will come across. Those Sids are okay without getting zerked, but man, do they do work once they're finally firing and a little bit angry with their beverages of choice.
Someone mentioned in chat like maybe Tybalt is planning for a slingshot, but thing is, it's Eno EXP, so that means only trap chests and bosses have experience for the party. Oh wow, casual Sis gauntlets, nice.
Yeah, as many Zeus gauntlets as possible is good. Mute and lit arrows are very nice.
Good call right there. If you have 2 Artemis bows, yeah, just like stuff to like demolish some nasty bosses down the road. Like we saw Odin at the Baigan spot. Like if you do that early, now you can like decimate that spot if you get an early Baron Key.
And the cheeky Chocobo Forest check south of Ordeals yields just a lunar staff today. Oh,
There it is. There they are. The Artemis arrows hanging in. Oh wow, Agard. Was it Agard? No, this is Mysidia.
Yeah, those Artemis arrows. That is best in slot arrow. Bandanas as well. Oh, buying a ribbon. I'm actually a little surprised at that. I would have looked at just the bandanas personally. The ribbon is cool. Looks like we're gearing up Tella here with a black shirt and a ribbon. Opting against the strength boosting gear of the bandana. That is interesting. And there's the shop. Life potions, cure 3s, and Bacchus.
Wow.
Mysidia with all of the goods.
Mysidia has everything you could ever want for this set, pretty much. I mean, Asuka has a white shirt, but I don't think people found that white shirt that Asuka did, right?
He did not, because it was deep into Watery Pass.
Yeah, so that black shirt might be for Tella to survive whatever is up here in Ordeals, you know?
Yeah, not only is it to help him survive, but it's to help him deal damage. The black shirt giving +5 to wisdom actually gives him more offense, even though it's like fire ones and lit ones. It's not great, but it gives him more offense than he would have otherwise. But we see both runners converging on Mount Ordeals here, and we have a few dolls hanging out, which is kind of awkward with, I don't know what we have for J items, and we haven't seen an Earth Hammer. We have, some Thor Rages, Grimoires.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. It's good.
This is actually a party that does better with big doll than little dolls.
Shockingly, yeah. You could be cheeky and like, if you get good at it, you could like stop the back dolls to try and fling two like J items at them to defeat them real quick. Or Thor Rages. Nice.
Yeah,
Good one,
Thor
Asuka.
Rage's work, very nicely done.
Oh, I like changing the agility to Ari too. I like that. Oh, I mean, is the spot nasty? A little bit,
Nasty
but you
for
know what?
magic.
Yeah, but like Tela has Cure too, so we're good, you know. And he's so fast, anyways. It's fine. Wow, real nice. No, we do
Oh,
not have a Fusoya. It's all Tela and Sits.
and Tibalt pushed the Grimoire button to get through that Dolls fight, so it means he will only have one Grimoire for the Ordeals changing room here, which could be a differentiating factor here for our runners. Asuka having access to both of those Grimoires is a big deal. Tibalt only having access to one means that he may be in danger. Might not have the J items to get through. It could be some Tele shenanigans here. So be interested to see who has better Grimoire luck.
Thing is, I will honestly, if I can help it, I will get another key, another G item to flank in this fight, and then
Hmm.
save the Grimoires for like I don't know, Bearing Ing or something, because this fight is pretty easy. Another Grimoire, another J items can get you through this fight, no problem. But the you know a Behemoth, a Leviathan, that can really like help you bypass a nasty boss with a good roll.
Yeah, it's absolutely true. But the counterpoint to that, I think, would be that, oh, don't be Ruby. That's super nasty if it's Ruby. Oh no.
There's
Oh,
the Grimoire
that's
usage, yeah.
yeah. You're launching these Grimoires and fast. That is not. It's gonna do
Oh,
damage, but
oh,
it's
that's almost enough.
this is
That is
a
almost.
super sketchy fight.
Yet that was almost enough to kill it with the Ifrit, kinda. Oh, but that's not gonna do it. Oh no.
Uh-oh. Bye-bye.
Oh,
Yeah,
rough.
Ruby
Let's
is
see how Tybalt.
mean.
Let's see how Tybalt fares with his roll.
Yeah, this is just a Grimoire lottery, and whoever rolls better wins. And well, that is not rolling better. So I think we're going to see Asuka attempt this one more time. I guess we get a lip bolt. That might actually do it for
Yeah, that
Tibalt.
might do it with the HP value
It'll be
Stella
like
has.
180 probably, 200. Oh yeah,
Ooh,
nicely done,
nice.
Tibalt.
Could save Tybalt. I don't think Asuka had an HP base item like this year.
She does not. She's just got the two grimoires.
Yeah.
So hopefully she can hit a Titan, a Leviathan, a Shiva, or a Bahamut. There's four options at a one shot here. And I know she's trying to save that second grimoire. Likely for,
Oof.
yeah, sorry, Chocobo. That's not the answer to the question. It's $0 for you. Go back to your podium.
So that was a hook, which is fantastic because launching the Falcon is an objective, and well, it's forced hook. So there's your underground access. Doesn't mean that Magma Key isn't somewhere else, probably in the moon, but this is the way to go.
Yeah, I mean, Force Hook is very interesting. You have all of the power in the world as far as like now you have Berserk on Tele, you have Bacchus available. It's not going
Blink.
to be a terrible, yeah, Blink. It's not going to be a difficult hook route. Um, it's going to take a while just by virtue of it being, well,
Nice.
Sid's. And there's Leviathan for Asuka. Nicely done.
It's also like this is gonna be less of a matter of who has the best characters or who found that shiny like crystal sword early on or anything like that. It's more like it's gonna be down to like how do you utilize the tools at your disposal, which is like a full power Tela and 4 sets. And I think that is one of the coolest bits of this flag set, which is why I did it.
Oh yeah, I think it's fantastic that you're learning to rely on Tela. Like yes, you have shops, and yes, we know that Bacchus are available, but Bacchus only get you through so many things. You know, you can't just go and randomly decide to Zerk against like D Lunars. Now, maybe with an Artemis arrow and Artemis bow, you can, but if they're on the moon still, that's a very dangerous proposition.
Oh,
Oh wow,
just like sitting there, huh?
that's a white shirt for Tybalt, so equalized on the loot there. So he now has black and white shirts to choose from, and we have
Ooh.
an army of archers taking on the Magus sisters here.
Those unit arrows doing 1k a pop, it's fantastic. But this spot has no HP anyways. Ooh, a sparkle, oh boy. Oh, that's fine. That's fine, that's cool.
Yeah, especially with Artie. Artie is going to absolutely dunk on this plague here. And looks like we have a shout out redeemed from the crowd. Elvin Sorrow appropriately requesting a shout out. And yeah, that makes a lot of sense because Sid is Elvin Sorrow's favorite character, and this is as many Sids as you will probably ever see on this or any channel. So yeah, well done to Elvin Sorrow on the appropriate shout out. And if y'all don't follow him already, make sure to go do that. He's a fantastic for Enterprise runner and runs a lot of other things as well. So definitely check him out.
So Tybalt found not only another set, but also a twin harp, which is, you already have your underground access, but some levels may not hurt, you still need some key items for progression in regards to the objectives, which, darkness crystals could be right there, for example.
Yeah, I mean, it could be Darkness Crystal, or you could just fade it and go underground and pretend it doesn't exist. That's
You could.
also an option.
Those are your two options: fade Cave Madness or do Cave Madness.
Yep.
Choose wisely.
But there is this thing called a restream tax, and usually that restream tax is having to do Cave Magnus. if you're on restream, you're supposed to do music. So
You say so, but I've seen you on Restream completely fading that before.
what? Not me.
Suspicious.
I would never. I would always. Anyway, we see Asuka completing up this evil wall check, and we have Tybalt going through and taking on the Staleman and Soul chest.
Interesting. That is an interesting play. Might want the EXP because equipment-wise, you already have like Artie, so I don't know what he's searching for, and you already have Zeus gauntlets. It's like you have found almost everything you need for have to like best in slot set.
I honestly think he's just looting Eblin in the entirety for money to go back and buy more Bacchus wines and life potions.
Oh,
And these chests just happen to be there. That is my guess as to Tybalt's approach right now.
I mean, even in T Wild, trap chests tend like are they aren't weighted, but they are restricted to like higher tiers. So Dragoon sells for like this a decent amount, but it's not the best. But
well, it can also be equipped.
We don't equip armors that aren't strength boosting gear in this game, do we?
It depends what the hook route boss is. You might just want to put an archer Sid in the back row with Dragoon armor and a Zeus gauntlet. He's nigh on untouchable at that point. He's also resistant to fire, ice, and lightning. I definitely can understand keeping it and wanting to equip it rather than sell it. Also worth noting, I don't know if we've seen it before, but in Baron Inn, there were Hourglass 1s for sale. Neither runner has picked them up, but I think that could be a spicy choice as well, especially because trap chests are going to be on the menu for XP at some point.
Someone in chat asking like what's the play for seeing the seed kamikaze spam. Well, I don't know about that because sure seed has a lot of HP, but I will wager that the way to go for Zeromus in this flag set will be to like start like a couple seeds and have the other seeds be on like support duty, flinging cure 3s and stuff.
Yeah, I know that when I ran the practice seat of this, that I did everything, and therefore I had enough levels where I could just, berserk everybody up and not care. But I don't think that's the recommended approach. You probably want to go through and leave a Sid behind for Cure 3 duty and make him a secondary chemist to Tella.
Tybalt found another Artemis bow and also samurai arrows. Those are nice to have. That's neat. Everyone having some pretty decent gear, despite the fact that these chests are unweighted.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is a huge amount of treasure chests. I think it's what, 6 in the middle tower, 6 or 7 on the left tower, and then 12 on the right tower. Like it's somewhere in the
Ooh.
neighborhood of 25 chests. So
And people finding another grimoire, while Asuka finds her twin harp. Let's see where Asuka goes next. I wonder if when she's going to attempt to do the hook route, or if she's gonna go straight for the twin harp. Also, I saw that people found a Stardust road. That's nice. A little late, but nice.
yeah, Tybalt also finding himself in a little bit of trouble here. He opts to use an hourglass and says, "Well, I'd prefer not to die." Part of this is he doesn't have life potions.
Oh boy.
He bought Bacchus wines. He bought all the nice shiny things in Mysidia, but he never bought life potions. So he's relying on a life staff from Tella right now for lifing duties, and that's a bit of a scary proposition.
Who needs life pots when you have a life staff? It's the same thing, isn't it?
No,
Fair.
because Sid can't use the life staff. Sid only knows punch. Uh, yeah.
Sid webs. Also, some big bombs. Big bombs might come in handy at some point when Sid's HP goes through the roof.
Well, big bombs are the level
right.
2.
I'm
The
thinking of
fire
bombs.
bombs. Yeah.
Right.
But the big bomb would still help for the Stamina Skull chest if Asuka opted to play around here in Eblin. Buying some silk webs. Looks like she is buying some hourglasses, I think, and we'll see what else. Maybe some Cure 2s. It's tough to say because, what you do with your money on this flag set, every time you buy something, you have to consider looting more. And this kind of goes back to what I was saying, that you have, runners who are probably going to be in the 80 to 100 range for boxes opened. And that's just kind of the natural flow of the seat.
Usually you'll be rather happy of seeing a dwarf axe, but the anchor is Tella because it's a sea hero, and Tella is acting the part of Dr. Lugae in this play. And you already have a lot of bows, so no dwarf axe for you this time.
Yeah, dwarf axe, not exactly what we're looking for. But I guess what we are looking for is some music, whether we have feelings positive or negative about it. Tybalt is about to give us that music, and Asuka has found the Mysidia shops and has decided that she wants to buy Artemis arrows, and that is a good call. Those are
Absolutely.
the arrows, and yeah.
Whether you like the Cave Magnus Twin Harp check or whether you dislike it, there's one thing we can agree on. The music that replaces Edward's harp song in the cutscene made by community members Calamity and Xenocat, it's so wonderful. It's fantastic.
What if it's Endless Stairs? Is it still
Let's
wonderful?
hope not! Yes, this is 4 seeds, Attila, and a dream. Correct.
Oh, look at that.
I for this season, I tried so hard making a dark elf flag set. I'll try again for season 3, but it was tough at the time. I hope that 5.0, whenever that comes out, brings in some nice tools for me to play with.
I'm sure it'll be great. I look forward to it. Look at me.
And as promised, here you go. That was fun. Some Mario Kart.
Yeah, some battle mode for Mario Kart and an Earth Crystal. I mean, that's still 18 more treasure chests, and they're very densely located. I would not be
Indeed.
surprised to see our runners pick that up.
It's also 2 more seeds. So I turn on C permajoin so the game doesn't ask you to replace seeds. Basically, it was like I felt so clever when I did that. Honestly.
Oh, that's good. Because it's less menuing you have to worry about and less you have to do. But I guess that Earth Crystal also represents an objective, complete the Tower of Zot. So
Mm-hmm.
while Tybalt is likely raiding that treasury and scaling that tower, I think we're going to get a reprise of music from Asuka. So enjoy the Sound of Silence one more time, folks.
And with that Meteo, Asuka is done.
Yeah, and Asuka also showing us the MP glitch and alchemy if we have a moment or two. I would love to explain that since we rarely get to see that on stream.
First things first, Tybalt with that Earth Crystal in the treasury managed to find the best T-Wild treasury I've ever seen with an adamant armor, an X-Cal, and a power shirt. And then finding a useless but still a key item, picking Sand Ruby.
Yeah,
Now
I
you may
mean,
go ahead and explain the ampli glitch. Not that that's that nonsense out of the way.
the Sand Ruby's still good. That puts our runners halfway to 10 key items, and of course, at 10 key items, you get a bonus, double XP. So, not a bad thing at all to get those extra key items. And for anyone who fades harp, myself, you would be very sad by not having that adamant in the power shirt. We do see a Mylon, some variant of it, either friend or Mylon and friends or Mylon Z. But before we talk any more about that, we have the MP glitch which Asuka performed there for us. That MP glitch effectively underflows Tella's MP stat. Tella normally only having 90 MP or 100 with a Soma drop, not exactly the largest MP pool in the world. Well, by underflowing it, Tella now has relatively infinite MP. This MP does go away when you heal, either by an ether, a tent, an elixir, a cutscene that heals you, for example, the Tower of Zod. Any number of things like that will basically cure it. But what it does is it allows you to have a full MP pool. So you can cast a bunch of Meteos. You can cast a bunch of Berserks and Cure 4s. The setup for it is super wonky. So while Asuka is going to get her adamant armor and her power shirt and the other goods, what happens basically is you have to trick the game, basically doing like frame perfect inputs to go through.
You basically trick the game into casting a low MP cost spell while you're actually casting a high MP cost spell, and then you go under 0, which makes you go all the way up to like 255 or like 3000 or whatever it is. It's like absurdly high. Waterhawk here is nice in a way. Wow. Like, Tybalt's doing great. Yeah, Asuka like stopping for a second. Like, huh? Huh? What's up with this treasury? It seems Tybalt had no issue with that water hack. That's lucky. And then next is Mylon. We were all worried about, a nasty hook route for no reason. Goodness. I mean, do you not have fire arrows? Which would be nice, but even then. The thing is, now that it's Mylon Z is flying. So there's the 2.5Ks, the 3Ks, the 1K damages. This is the most non-threatening hook rat you can get. Meanwhile, Asuka defeated that Flame Dog chest. I mean, I didn't see what the reward was. It seemed like a hat of some sort. But drop chests in their T Wild are not the best option. Wow, as expected, Tybalt decimated that Mylon Z, no problem at all.
Yeah, Tybalt absolutely exploded at Mylon Z. Not super surprising. Also, apologies, folks. My Discord decided it did not want an explanation of the NP glitch. So I thank you for taking care of the end of that, Alchemy.
Whoops. So let's see what kind of challenges await for us on the underground. Well, Asuka finishes, like, dispatches with ease the bosses here at the top of the tower.
Well, just an Octomam on the top of the tower. Not anything really to write home about. Going to be pretty easy with the lit arrows. Put it on the Sid with the adamant armor and the Artemis bow, and yeah, they're going to absolutely crush that Octomam. So pretty easy fight at top of tower.
Under so objective number 5, launch the Falcon. This is a 5 out of 6 objectives. So with the ones that don't need extra key items out of the way, you only need Forge and the Tower key, like the Darkness Crystal and the Hook, and you're good.
Yeah, getting ever closer to go mode, and then the question becomes, what do you do to prep for the final boss for Zeromus? Have to do something, have to get your XP somewhere, or I mean, I suppose you could find maybe a cursed ring, a bunch of vampires, cure threes, and star veils, as all those things are going to be available. But likely we'll see the XP route.
Would you put adamant armor on Tela and give him the agility he deserves as the hero, and let all the seeds with Artemis bows, catch up to him, and then give Zeromus a real bad day?
I would prefer to keep Tella's agility low so that the berserkers can
Come
go as fast as possible. But maybe maybe Tella can have like a ninja hat.
on!
Maybe a crystal ring instead of a cursed ring, but definitely not the adamant armor. That just makes it super weird for the Sids to do anything. They're
But
very
the
slow.
adamant armor will make his spells so good. Come on.
It'll make his spells exist. A white shirt,
Yeah,
a white shirt, and a life
relative.
staff. A white shirt, life staff, a stardust rod. Those also do some work. Speaking of doing work, this Octomam is giving Tybalt the business right now. Other than that adamant wear, going to be pretty rough for this fight, it looks like. But I think he's going to finally make some ground up here. I think we saw a Zerk glitch there, preserving the Artemis arrows as well on Tybalt's side, or lit arrows, whichever one he had equipped, where he took the arrows off as the Zerk cast from Tella landed, which means that the game basically archives the stats from the arrows, but you don't actually consume them. And so we see Sid punching for big damage here because the game is confused.
This will be the perfect time to say, grrr. Because again, this is Lugae and his Ordeals Barnabas, or Barnabas.
Well, and a rat tail on Tybalt's side, so picking up a key item and an objective. That puts 3 objectives on the board for Tybalt now. Just needs the Darkness Crystal, the Tower Key, or the Legend Sword. Some combination 2 of 3 of those, and he will be looking towards the end game here, while Asuka has gone through and completed that Tower of Zot, fighting off that pesky Asura and receiving her Sand Ruby, and will likely be headed underground now as well.
Mm-hmm. I don't think Asuka is gonna have any issues with that hook route either. Like his seats are kitted out as well.
Yeah, the hook route boss is not exactly the most threatening for this party. Being the Mylon Z there, weak to flying type stuff, which is arrows, which Asuka's going back to buy more Artemis arrows, I believe. It's one of those things where this party is uniquely set up to absolutely devastate a flying boss.
And, well, Mylan may not like it, but he is flying to make
Mhm.
him immune to Quake because he is the elemental fiend of the earth. Oh, Moonveils, huh? That's interesting.
Yeah, it's probably one, but the other thing is having adamant armor. It kind of acts like a moonveil, so it's
Well,
interesting.
that's a good point, yes. It also is a very long lasting serval, which is nice if you need it, but with this party being mostly physical fighters, I don't think Tybalt or Asuka will need a Moonveil for anything.
Worth noting, Tybalt bought 35 crosses, I believe, and 35 star veils. Uh, that
Crosses?
to me tells me he is thinking about potential 1200 strats.
Oh
Because the
boy.
crosses act as triggers without causing any issues with direct damage. And the star veils, of course, are there to help you, reflect the damage back to Zeromus. So Tybalt doing a
That's
lot of future planning here, but expensive.
that's that's real clever because with this high power that you have, the HP pool that these characters have, it's it's honestly real nice for 1200 HP strats. I didn't think people would go that route. Honestly, it didn't even cross my mind that someone will even attempt to do 1200 HP strats in this flag set, in this race even. But if people wants to do them, like more power to him.
Yeah, I like how you said it didn't cross your mind as he bought 30 some odd crosses. Anyway, to answer what crosses do from chat, they remove the curse status, which you see from a whopping like 2 or 3 enemies in the game, one of which is elements. The Mylon form of elements will cast curse on you. And also, I think it's this the Staleman soldier chest, Staleman soldier chest, whatever it is, the skulls. If they hit you at the right time, they can inflict the curse status on you. I think outside of that, you're not going to see curse all that often. Ancient sword, I believe, can inflict the curse status,
Yep.
but like these are super edge case scenarios where they're ever relevant.
But of course, what they're actually going to be used for is to use them on Zeromus to make him think, oh, you have used a magic command on me. So I'm going to counter with a nuke counter. And then the counter will be bounced on the reflect status that you have from using Starvels, and then you will reflect the nukes back at Zeromus. That will be the actual use crosses will have to
Yeah.
trigger a counter.
Yeah, it's triggering a counter without causing an HP refill because it's not technically direct damage. It effectively is mimicking what the crystal does, but the reason why we use them for 1200 strats is because the animation is shorter and, save the frames, right?
Yeah, you could use 12 HP strats by simply using the crystal, but the crystal is like a blue nuke animation, and that takes a little while. It also like lags a little bit in Ceremus's arena, so it is way faster to use like a healing animation, which is what the cross has.
Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely. And we do see Tybalt warping here, taking advantage of that warp glitch.
nice! I'm
Ooh.
being rewarded. There is no boss hunt this seed, so this is bye bye.
Yeah, that is the legend sword. That is Forge on the table for Tybalt. That is putting him now a tower key or a darkness crystal away from go mode, and does not get go mode from Dwarf Castle.
Here's a starter's rod that you will probably get once you forge anyways.
Yeah, because Tela gets what, a Nirvana staffer and a
Tela,
Sura rod.
yes, Tela can get the best of both twins basically.
Yeah.
It's
And
neat.
Yeah, it definitely is, and we'll see which one it is. We'll see Asuka got through Water Hag no problem, and going to be taking on this Mylon Z as well. Should be through this, not too much issue or fanfare as well. This will be a fairly easy fight, just going to pew pew her way to victory here with the team of archers.
I still can't believe that Mysteria had Artemis arrows, Cure 3s, Bacchus, life potions. Like, it's just like so loaded. It's
Yeah.
incredible.
And Tybalt, did he even check the Coco Ford shop there?
No.
Ah,
It's while the Coco shop, the chances that it has anything he needs at this point are like close to none. Maybe I don't think we have seen Artemis bows for sale, but we have found like people had found like 3 at this point. So I think he's good for the most part. It might have a curse ring. We haven't found one of those yet, I don't think. But you know, the chances that curse ring is there are close to 0. So
yeah, but they're not zero, and we would
yep.
want to see what's in the best shop in the game, even if it doesn't have anything good in it. We still want to know. It could have been carrots and Cure once.
Yeah. There is as while give you some chances for some truly terrible shops. Uh wow. Tybalt didn't even check the shops down here. He really is done like shopping at this point, it seems.
Yeah, it's interesting. Tybalt seems very committed to the concept of once I get darkness, or in this case, tower key access, I am just going to do 1200 strats and win the game. Now that's slightly awkward with the Giant of Babel, especially if he gets the 10 key items, because then he'll be, with like what 6 to 700,000 XP on his Sids, and tell his agility will
Yep,
be a little weird. So I think for Tybalt, he's hoping for like a tower key sooner than later, and not actually having to do the Giant. I think the
indeed.
Giant would actually mess up his plans. But we do see Oscar joining Tybalt underground now, completing Objective 5 of Launch the Falcon.
Asuka, like aside from that hiccup with the MP glitch, has been playing really well. Like that, like the routing decisions that Asuka has done, and the the playing has been fantastic so far. Just so like she may be like technically like a little behind, but like props to her.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Oscar and Tybalt both playing very well. Tybalt doing the leveraging of the Artemis arrows very early on, just having found that shop earlier really let him get a bit of an advantage. And it's not to say that Oscar did anything wrong for this seed by any means. She's playing very well. Just Tybalt found the goods sooner. And we knew when we saw those shops that that was in fact the goods in Basidia.
Yup, so many goods, and indeed, this is a 5 out of 6.
Oh,
Wow,
that's what
that's
Tybalt
pretty
wanted to
bonkers.
see. Yeah,
Wonderful. Less EXP, better 1200 HP strats.
yeah. So
Now,
that's. Oh,
we
go ahead.
still need the Darkness Crystal or the pass.
At this point, the pan turn-ins or the tower key have to lead to it. We don't have any K summon checks,
Nope.
so this would have to be Luca, Baron, Darkness. Those are the only 3 key items that are left out there that could gate your lunar progression. So it's actually moderately likely or we just
Ooh,
find the pass and it doesn't matter. So
there
yeah,
it
no
is.
darkness needed.
Just gonna pass right ahead. Gonna check the super cannon room and then go straight up for the pass.
Yeah, this is a zoomer here, your old alchemy.
Nice. I can go
Oh,
to bed
there's
earlier.
there's Dr. Lugae hanging out at the Asura spot in the Feymarch.
I'm so glad we don't have to fight him. No fighting. The clone Zeromus made.
We have enough of the clones in the party already.
Those are not clones. Those are robots. Get with the program, Possum.
Oh, right, they're robots. My bad. And we see Tybalt going back. He is doing his prep right now. He's gonna take everything off, I think, or most
Oh
things off
God.
of Tella, and buy a bunch of Cure 3s here. because he knows that this is kind of the last shopping that he needs to do. So,
It's just without the cursed ring on Tella, this is scary as heck.
well, it's not too bad because Tell is still going to be at like 12, maybe 13 agility by the end of this. I'd have to see what exactly Tybalt's rocking, but I don't think it's going to be that bad because the Artie bows are going to push Sid to minimum
Oh,
RA2,
the
drop a silk
Audibles.
web in there. Yeah, it's manageable because of the Artie bows. Without the Artie bows, this would be an unmitigated disaster. You'd be on battle speed 6 and it would take like 17 to 20 minutes. Uh,
Yeah.
Tybalt's going to be able to do this at battle speed 3 pretty comfortably. And just get the silk web out and he's going to be fine, honestly.
Mind
It's
you, it might still take 15 minutes straight up.
It
It might
might.
still take that.
It might. Yeah, 1200 strats are nice to see every once in a while, but they, kind of grow old on you. And
Oh,
that is
wow.
a scoop of vanilla. And
Another
Tybalt,
one.
uh-oh,
Uh-oh.
uh-oh.
Oh, no. Oh, that miss. No, exactly the 1 HP I needed. Oh
uh,
no! Table
Tybalt,
didn't save inside of the tower. What a messy wipe. Ooh.
when's the last time Tybalt hasn't saved
Oh no,
in like
Table.
20 minutes?
So, folks, I hate to do this to Table, but we have an emote for this.
Oh no.
We have an emote for this, added by a wonderful community manager and artist, Scala Kitty. Please save. Well, this put Asuka on the road to maybe victory. We'll see. I mean, Tybalt has the knowledge. He knows what he has to do exactly to see to the completion of the seed in the fastest possible route. But Asuka doesn't have that vibe. Like I think this makes up like more than makes up for the time that Asuka spent trying out the MP glitch.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I also want to just say I do not envy being in our tracker shoes Quest
Oh
right now,
yes.
because Ribbon Quest now has to figure out which objectives Tybalt has done, which key items he actually has. Super awkward position for our tracker to be in. So yeah, good luck Ribbon Quest and Godspeed.
Good thing Tybalt opened the tracking, like the in-game tracking menu, like briefly.
Now we do see Asuka heading up the Tower of Babel. We know that this is Octomam up here, and shouldn't have too much of an issue.
No,
Uh,
these states are speedy.
yeah, this seed in particular, nothing hiding on the moon. Don't even need to go there.
Nope.
So yeah, everything is readily available, and I do want to make sure that we get to thank our restreamer as well as thanking our tracker. Ribbon Quest doing a great job keeping up with the unfortunate circumstance on Tybalt's side, and then Cubs Rule doing a great job behind the scenes. Of course, Alchemy, my wonderful co-commentator today and leader of this here Baron Heroes Journey Club, always putting on fantastic flag sets week after week. And of course, to our runners, Asuka and Tybalt, doing a great job on stream for our entertainment and our amusement playing this here flag set.
And do not forget shoutouts to our favorite trash panda and the blog Post Morpheus here joining me in the booth.
Why, thank you, Alchemy.
Oh no, the worst part is having to watch the creepy crawly hand crawl all the way to the crystal once again, twice in a seat. Oh, how dreadful.
Yeah, I mean, and it's not even a cool hand like a demist hand.
Yeah, I know,
It's
right?
just kind of like the boring blue hand. It's like, whatever, I
Can't believe
guess.
this.
All right,
There's
well,
Legend
Tybalt is going to get
again.
his forge again.
I don't know if Tybalt still has the items for 1200. I don't think so. Or does he?
I don't know. He doesn't have the cure threes. I know that for sure, but I don't know about the veils.
I think he got all of his items here in this shop. As expected, Asuka is having no issue whatsoever with this Octomam because, as we remember to our fine folks here at chat, the more you hit Octomam, the slower he gets, and as we mentioned, these seeds are pretty speedy. And check out that Tela utility Lit 3, 6k a pop.
Yeah, really good stuff there. Is worth noting, a small thing on Tybalt's side, and this is for anyone who's looking to do 1200 strats in the future. With this particular party, Tybalt had a couple of items, some J items, things like lip bolts, fire bombs, big bombs, stuff like that. You can actually use those to push a little bit extra damage before you hit the refill phase in Zeromus. So while selling those for the Star Veils and um, the crosses make sense, it can actually help you maybe skip one or two extra counter nukes in the end. Because even at a lowish level, Sid's still going to have a pretty massive HP pool and be able to do somewhere like the 800 to 1,000 damage range. And a couple of those, saves you a bit of animation, which is not the worst thing in the world. So we'll see if Asuka also opts to go that route, or if she opts to go a more traditional, like low-level Zerker team, or just getting a bunch of levels for her team.
Knowing Asuka and the way she talks about C fights, I get the feeling that Asuka wants to do the Zeromus fight as a low a level as possible because she loves like low HP, low level Zeromus strats.
Yeah, I would also guess that she is definitely a fan of the low-level strats, not going through and having to worry about uh, the massive HP, the massive levels on everyone. Probably will try with like Tella a couple of 2,000 HP Sids in a dream, and just hope she has enough damage to get through. Maybe a couple Cure 3s, some nerfing, and kind of go from there. And she can definitely pull it off as well.
Yup, she absolutely can pull it off. Yeah, so for folks in chat, especially our tracker, not wanting to go through that twice, is please asking Asuka to save. Fair.
Yeah, so we have both runners who are going to be in the Tower of Babel at the same time, the lower Tower of Babel. And we do see Tybalt going to be making his stop to get his Cure 3s one more time. And he will have all of his preparation for Zeromus at this point. Just has to go through, pick up his pass, complete his tower key, get his crystal, and go from there. We do see Asuka does not need to save here as she has more than 1 HP on her characters. So no issues here. Yeah, thankfully.
Still, after that scare, we definitely want her to. But there's the other side of the argument of if you don't save, you go faster.
Yeah, you go faster until you don't.
That's how this game goes, isn't it?
It really is. Like, one misstep can undo an hour's worth of good work. And Lord knows I have had it happen. Tybalt, unfortunately, today had it happen. There's, just times and situations where it will happen that, you either forget to save, you don't save, you go in the menu to save and you get concerned about your battle speed and you forget to save and then you wipe to something, you reset out and then you find yourself 10 minutes behind and go, I swear I saved. You go back and look at your VOD and you didn't save. Yeah, not speaking from experience here at all.
Not at all. No. We do have a first place finisher because there are other 3 players racing this. Rybon has finished in first place with a time of 1 hour, 6 minutes, 24 seconds. Nice, Rybon.
Yeah, GG's to Rybon continuing, excuse me, a very hot streak of performances. doing very well on the ladder, doing very well on community races. So very well done to Rybon there. And Asuka picking up the darkness crystal from the tower key.
Ooh.
That is potentially dangerous because this means Asuka is not going to do dwarf, which means she is not going to get the forge, which means she's going to be looking to do the giant instead.
Oof, that's rough. I mean, yeah, because the giant is a guaranteed objective. Like
Yeah,
you have the darkness crystal, and the giant is right there. You know. Meanwhile, the 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 legend sword could be anywhere. It could even be on the moon because K Moon
yeah.
is on. So between an unknown variable that could be like between 5 or 6 spots that you haven't checked yet, and the big immutable spot that you can check and just clear, and you're gonna beat the seed. I mean, I don't blame her.
Yeah, and in Asuka's shoes as well, if she is watching the race room, which I don't know if she is or isn't, she may see, someone having just finished and say something to the effect of, "Oh, well, with the time I spent doing the MP glitch and stuff like that, it might make some sense that, the giant is just required and you get your XP and then you go win the game." So we'll see where Asuka opts to go from here, but looks like
Mhm.
she is shopping for something or maybe picked up the Baron key?
Huh. Guess we'll see. Tybalt is going straight ahead to grab his pass now that he knows where that is.
Oh, okay. Asuka has the
Indeed.
Baron key. There we go.
Might be thinking that Baron is a better check than Giant. Like the Giant fights can be pretty nasty. The Element spot has just about the most HP in the game, more or less, and the CPO spot is hits like a truck,
Yeah.
and they're all like pretty high level. So like maybe Asuka doesn't feel entirely comfortable doing that and decides to do this instead to check for the key item that she needs.
Yeah, it makes sense because in Asuka's shoes, or in Tybalt's shoes for that matter, it might be a situation where you're ending up with just one character that survives, one Sid with, an adamant armor, and that's not really going to be what you want.
No,
Asuka may also just not want to do the giant because she may not want all of those levels. She may want to do some lower level stuff, and the giant would kind of put a wrench in that plan. So we'll see
indeed.
if this is part of her plan is to go through and just avoid that giant because she doesn't want the XP.
Yep, like Asuka says heck and fluff to big racing meta and mentalities, and she just does what she likes, which honestly like props to her, 10
Yeah.
out of 10. And like so if she wants to do like low level stuff, like heck yeah. I totally agree. Like maybe like she's supporting the giant on purpose to try and not get too many levels. I can totally see that coming from her.
Yeah, absolutely would make sense. And then for Tybalt, we do see him getting his inventory prepped, and there
I'm
is
I'm tipping my tiara of vanilla right now. Tipping, tipping, tip, tip.
just a little more vanilla, one more scoop to
Three scope and an
just
ice cream coming right up.
yeah, just finish off Baron with a little scoop of vanilla. But meanwhile, Tybalt is going to look to finish things off in like 10 or 12 minutes from now. Uh,
Give or take. What agility is thing? Like
I have no idea.
what battle speed? Sorry, what battle speed?
Um,
BS6 or Tucker
yeah,
saying? Yeah,
this
20
is
minutes straight up.
this. If you have a silk web, you can do this at 3. But you got to
Better
be
safe than
comfortable with it.
sorry.
Yeah,
She
this
already
is
lost time.
yeah. So for Tybalt, I mean, Alchemy, we know Tybalt's about to fight the final boss. The final boss, Zeromus, is too big and too mean and too nasty to put anywhere, other than here. It wouldn't be super fun to run into Zeromus at, like, I don't know, the Antlion Cave and then just get blasted into oblivion with a party of, anyone. So Yeah, we do randomize what Zeromus looks like. So, Alchemy, I think there's a question we have to ask, and I'm going to let you do the honors today for that, my friend.
Thank you. Whose butt are we gonna kick today? And my favorite question to ask, calling by community member Alicel, who is Zeromus cosplaying as? And let us see. What was that in Asuka's side? What key item was in the Baron trash can?
Ink
Did I not catch that?
Tail. So, an adamant armor in a trash can. And
Nice.
this, my
That's gonna
folks,
help.
this, my friends, is why we like our trash cans.
Yeah, fair.
I've got a couple adamant armors in here with me. Whenever
Nice.
you don't see me on screen, I'm just hugging the adamant armors because they're so precious to me. And that's Shadowmus on Tybalt's side.
I have no. That looks like a Bomberman character, but I know it's not.
It
What
also
is
kind of
this?
looks like it wants to be like Kingdom Hearts shadows,
I
but
know. I
they're way
know.
too like animated, and I don't know. It's weird. I don't know what it's from, but it makes me think of
It's like almost a foot soldier from Kingdom Hearts.
yeah.
Almost. That's so funny. Well,
Yeah.
so it's starting off with a couple slows on Shadowmas because apparently Table didn't find street webs like Asuka did.
Also, didn't get a ouch. Didn't get a star bell up on that middle Sid. Not ideal. But he is starting out the 1200 strats right away, just going straight through. And Asuka is doing Dwarf Castle. And yep, Tybalt not getting the targeting he
Nice.
wants. Yep, that is Tella and Sid down. So Tybalt back to 3-person strats here. May want to life up Tella after the first big bang, in order
Indeed.
to go ahead and get that second slow off.
We will see on Asuka's side if she remembers or even knows that the warp glitch is on, and so she can get her a legend sword to get the crystal. Guess we'll see.
Yeah, I do also wonder, with Asuka being in go mode already, we've speculated that she's, intentionally avoiding the giant. This is a thing that I've done before where if I don't intentionally read the flags and see that it's like 5 out of 6 required, is there a chance Asuka thinks it's 6 out of 6 required?
There is
I
a good
hope that's
chance.
not the case, but again, I've done this before. It's like
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
would go turn in the forge and then be like, wait, I have my crystal. And then you get the heck and fluff that you can't say on restream and things like that. So I wonder if that could also be the potential case here.
Oh, this fight went so quick last time that I completely missed that the guards were here. Honestly, I confess, hands up in the air.
Yeah, I mean the guard's not much of a threat here for this team, or really for any team. And going to pick up a couple levels here. We see this Tella on Asuka's side has like 800 health now. I think this Tella has been fed some apples as well to make him a little healthier. Because there's no way that Tella would be at those HP levels with Sid only at 1600.
I definitely saw Asuka pick up some apples. I think from a chest somewhere. That's like an image I have in my mind. So I can see that she fed those to Tella.
Yeah, and also worth noting, we saw Tybalt reflecting the Asura Rod onto Shadowmus. That was in order to push a little extra damage with a white cast, as the Asura Rod uses. Tella has no MP on Asuka's side. There is a way around this, though.
Ouch.
So what you can do here in order to still warp glitch, you can stay at the inn within Dwarf Castle, and then you can go ahead and hit the warp spell like 3 or 4 times, and it eventually gets you back into the crystal room in the Lugae cave. So there is exactly one way around that, but it is a pretty arcane piece of knowledge.
It is. It really is because it keeps adding rooms in like onto the pile
Hmm.
of like the stack of rooms you have traversed. So like you can just reset 3 or 4 times. But Riven is pointing out in chat, she's thinking about the Rock Witch, so she won't make this mistake twice, and she will get the Legend Sword.
Yeah, and speaking of doing things twice, we have Tybalt now taking attempt number 2 at Zeromus. Looks like the first attempt went a little sideways. Not exactly sure what had happened. It's kind of focused on Oscar's screen there, but I just have to assume that there was something
Oh
gone awry.
yes, Table, you know, had eight, I believe, an unnerved Big Bang to the face. I don't know
Ah,
how that happened. Like maybe the agility situation wasn't ideal, or it lost a couple turns due to having a few characters standing. I don't know. Oh, he went for the meta objective instead of nerfing. Ooh, oh no, I can't
ah.
believe I missed that. Oh, Tybalt, thank you very much. I really appreciate you, buddy.
Yep, that's a thing that can happen. These strats are unforgiving if you try to take extra turns doing other things. So, need to be certain that you are nerfing. Yeah, first and foremost.
Do you know I Tybalt has extra points in my heart. Thank you so much, Tybalt. I really appreciate it for going with the theme.
And
Like
speaking of extra points in our heart, Scala Kitty has given us the answer, Alchemy.
oh, it's Shadow from Space Channel 5, Ulala's report show from Sega's famous franchise Space Channel 5, which debuted in the Dreamcast. Wow, I didn't know. Now I know. See, we learn something every day here at Free Enterprise. That's why you should keep tuning in.
Absolutely. Learning is power, knowledge is power, and there is never a lack of it here on the Free Enterprise channel. Whether it be sprites, whether it be game tech, whether it be cool flags to build, if you want to do things like Alchemy does and put together these awesome flag sets, there's always information to be acquired here.
Let's see if Tybalt, like, I wonder if Tybalt is gonna attempt the meta objective again.
Possibly.
There it is. There's Asuka's Legend Sword. When she forges that, she will get that wonderful crystal, and she will know that she can face Zeromus at any time.
Yeah, and that forge will, yeah, go ahead and get her the ability to have the Asura rod, I believe it was picked up, which is a nice stat stick for Tella. It gives him a lot of evasion multipliers by way of having wisdom and willpower. So definitely going to be helpful. And we see a big unnerved Big Bang there come out on Tybalt's side. Everyone taking 800 plus. I think Tybalt may have been hoping that someone took like 600 to 700, and the reason for that would be that you'd then be able to life Tella and bop him. But I think he might not be able to do that this cycle. But well, maybe he's lifed up that Tella.
Oh boy, I hope this works out. Like, I it's just 1200 HP strats are so tricky. Like, sure, it's like a soul fight, but the moment you add like a little wrench into the whole thing, it just like falls apart.
Yeah, we'll see. We have all the Sids healthy again. We have some crosses coming out. We have a slow cast coming out. Unfortunately, the slow cast doesn't happen, but the meta objective is complete. Uh, so Tibble
Nice.
now going to be going through and launching those crosses again to try to get a nerf. Is going to need to get a Sid queued up with a nerf coming up soon because this cross will not nerf. So he needs to get a cross that is not on this round, and I'm a little worried here that if that bottom Sid does not get into the queue to launch across, that this is also going to be unnerved. So
There it is.
yeah, that bottom Sid is in the queue now. So Zeromus is going to take an empty turn after that Sid who just acted. And then this cross is going to be the only one I think that fires during this turn or this cycle. And it is going to be able to nerf. And then the cross from the middle Sid will happen just after the Big Bang, but before the black hole. So Tybalt will still be fine in this case, but needs to be cognizant that the black hole is coming up, which will wipe out the Starvest. It's a tricky fight.
Yup. So, Asuka is going on ahead without being equipped for any 1200 HP strats. Just going, you know what? I know how to nerf Big Bangs. Let's just go. Heck and fluff. And you know what? I love it.
Does Asuka have Bacchus wines is the question. If she has Bacchus wines, this is technically doable. Without Bacchus wines, this is going to be a bit of a clown fiesta. So we'll see how she approaches this. If she has Bacchus, I have absolute faith that she can pull this off. If she doesn't, I'm a little concerned that this is going to go very poor.
Guess we'll see. We have double Zeromus fights now on screen.
Yeah, double Zeromus fights. We haven't. The black hole came out on Tybalt's side with a cross queued. So one of these Sids is going to have a bad day. It looks like middle Sid has been decided, but he has the adamant armor on and walks it off. So Tybalt survives disaster at least for one more round.
Do you know Sids, the Sids in Asuka's sides have some pretty decent HP for surviving Big Bangs, especially the one that has the ones that have adamant armors.
Yeah, and worth noting that two of them do.
Mm-hmm.
So Asuka does have the advantage of double adamant armor Sid, which I think are both rocking Artemis Bow, Artemis Arrow as well. And she does have some Bacchus that we see here. So with two Chemist Sids and two Artemis Bow, Artemis Arrow adamant armor Sids, that is a lot to say all at once. She is able, I think, to do this. It's still going to be very tricky, but I think she can pull this off.
I don't know the equipment situation on Asuka's side. Like, I know she has like RDR, but also does she have Zeus gauntlets? Yeah, because if she does, that's like a lot of strength on Sid, you know.
Yeah, I mean, we see, we know that there was at least one Zeus gauntlet she picked up because I know they both got the one out of, I think it was Damsian Basement. And that Sid does live through that nuke, which is huge. Nice. So while Tybalt is doing the 1200 variety, Asuka is just pushing the Bacchus button and going to try to get through this. We see 2500 coming out from one Sid.
That's a little worse. But 2500 is pretty decent. It seems that Tybalt's 1200 HP strats are going pretty okay. Like having, like, you know, like we mentioned, if you know what you're doing and you know exactly how to do it, 1200 HP strats are like a soft fight for Zeromus.
Right.
You just go through the motions, and as long as you pay attention and don't, like, you know, do a misinput or forget one usage of an item, or forget to pull up to refresh the star veils or whatever, you should be good. It might just take a while.
Yeah, and also one thing on Asuka's side that is a little troublesome is the Cure 4 came out a turn early from Tella there. So now we have Tella on the ground, unfortunately. So I guess that Cure 4 being queued early only is a small punish in the form of MP, a way of 40 MP going off. But the fight, I think, will tip into the second phase here based on the damage that is being done. But Asuka really is going to need to get that Tella back up and get a Cure 4 off. Otherwise, these Sids are going to be in a little bit of trouble here. And we see her bringing that Tella back to life, hopefully getting that Cure 4 off.
It seems that for the most part, Asuka has the fight under control, but with just one chemist, it's a little trickier. But you have the Circers buffering the turns, and you have that Silk Web on Zeromus, so Zeromus shouldn't be that fast. But even then, these HP values that are right now on the screen are a little worrying for me.
Yeah, definitely a little bit of concern. Asuka gets an early shake here, and that is before Tella is able to get into the queue to act. So she has to now decide what the best approach here is going to be. I think this just has to be a Cure 4 from Tella. And
come on.
hope.
Come on. Please.
I think this one is destined to be unnerfed, which is super awkward. But maybe the adamant armor wearers at least can pull through and not take max damage. We do see all the Sids at least are basically full health.
That's nice.
So the Tella doing work.
Yeah, Tella can really support the other fighters. That's his role. He's a support mage.
Looks like we must have gotten a tip on Asuka's side.
Yeah, that big bag never came off. Phew, that's a relief.
And she is going for the meta objective here, punching Tella with Sid. This is also super risky with this party because not having that Tella around.
She was saying like, oh, I'm not gonna bother with the meta objective, whatever. But she, like we talked, she likes to live on the edge. So sure, why not?
Also worth noting that Tella took 198 from an Artemis Bow Sid or Artemis Arrow Sid. So yeah, that's the power of the white shirt and other stuff there.
Was Tella parrying? I think that might have something to do with that.
It might have been, yeah.
Oh, that Sid has an Elven bow on. Oh, that explains that. That explains it.
So this nerf on Asuka's side is unfortunately going to be early. Because it was queued up while the Zerkers were still going on the first turn, this is not going to nerf. It needed to wait until the second Zerker actions were happening. Now that Sid goes down. The other Sids are going to get topped off, but this is not a good situation for Asuka because that is not going to be a nerf Big Bang because that nerf was too early. And on Tybalt's side, we have 3 Sids left alive, trying to get their way through this, and we shall see. Looks like Tybalt has recovered here, as 1200 strats are wont to do. It's kind of up and down, but we lose a primary damage dealer Sid on Asuka's side. We lose the Tella.
Oh no! Those two Sids are berserk, aren't they?
They are.
A black hole, and even then, I don't know if there's the black hole. Those Sids should be able to be controlled once their attacks go off, and I don't know if Asuka can recover from this. Like I don't know if she has the Cure 3 as necessary. I think she has some.
The other issue here is on Asuka's side, she may not have arrows anymore on the Sid.
Oh right. Once they get their turns.
Yeah, that those arrows may fall off. So this may unfortunately have gone sideways for Asuka. But we'll see if she can pull this back. I think that Tella has like 2 MP. I don't know what he has left. But Bacchus has been consumed. 2 MP left on Asuka's side for that Tella. Not ideal. Cure 2 gonna go on Sid, and Asuka's gonna pray.
Yeah, fair. Like, the issue here is that I don't think... no arrows.
Yeah.
She have checked the arrows before doing the back. That's rough. That's happened to me before, honestly.
Yep, it's not the best situation, but it's a situation that we're in currently. Tybalt has a Big Bang come out on his side. He's going to lose another Sid here, unfortunately. Did not get the Cure up in time on that bottom Sid. So down to just 2-man Cure, 2-man 1200 on Tybalt's side now. started out as 4, became 3, and is now 2. So adventure time on Tybalt's side for sure now.
Meanwhile, Tybalt seems it's down to 2 sets. But to be honest, like I believe. I mean, I was gonna say that I believe 1200 HP strats were designed with one character in mind originally, so it's not that bad in his side, even if it looks bad. But Asuka is in the media phase. This is down to the wire.
So Sid is doing roughly 1,000 damage around. Sid is no longer.
Sid has the adamant armor, right?
Well, this Sid needs to dodge like 8 meteors.
No. This is not happening. If Asuka wins this, she needs to go out on like buy a lottery ticket.
This was, if the arrows were on this Sid, this would have been winnable. But
I agree.
Yeah, without the arrows, it's going to be just off. There's a dodge.
Oh my God, Asuka, why are you doing this to me? Especially me.
We need a lot more dodges, though.
Oh gosh. What is the magic evade on this Sid? I want to know.
Well, I think this Sid does have an added armor, but unfortunately that is going to do it for that Sid. And Tybalt, meanwhile, has completed the fight on his end. So GG's to Tybalt, able to get through with the 1200 strats, and we'll see if we can get him in for an interview. I think we did have some other folks finish as well. So we had, Rybon in first place, which we highlighted, Scythe Marshal in second place. Tybalt did finish in third place. So we are going to see if we can get Tybalt in for an interview.
What a weird seed this was with the whole like low level Zeromus and stuff.
Yeah, we had low-level Zeromus fights and 2 vastly different approaches to them. We'll see who we can get in for an interview. I see Asuka has stopped moving on the screen as well.
Asuka has forfeited the race, which honestly fair. Like she might keep trying this on her own or whatever, but she as far as race goes, she has to officially forfeited.
Gotcha.
Which that's fine.
Yeah, well, GG's to her. That was one heck of an attempt as well at the low-level Zerker strats. A lot more gumption to pull that off than I would have gone for sure. So we'll see if we can get either runner in for an interview today. See if we can get either Tybalt or Asuka in and have a chat with them.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a dinging in our ears. I believe that ding is Tybalt. GG's to you, Tybalt, and I will just ask the burning question, because I know you're going to have an answer for it. Why do we save?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Sometimes I'm ending a little too quick and think I saved when I actually haven't, and bad things can happen, and you have to redo all of Dwarf, re-get the pass from Sheila 1, re-get the tower key,
Yeah, we actually talked about that exact situation where you think you have saved, you're confident you've saved, and you find out after you reset that you haven't, and then you go, oh gosh. It has happened to all of us.
This is why I save twice whenever I play games, honestly.
It was just such a bad feeling. So I'm like, I just threw it. I just threw for content majorly.
That's fair, honestly.
You just wanted to make sure.
It's fair.
You wanted to make sure Ribbon Quest had a lot to do as the tracker, and this was a test for Ribbon Quest, and they passed with flying colors. So, bravo to you for training our restream members.
Yeah, because I didn't bother picking up the pan again because I didn't need it, because pass with Sheila 1.
Absolutely. So take us through kind of your thought process on this. You obviously have your Sids, you have your Tela. What was on your mind as far as strategies from the start, and did this turn out the way you thought it would?
So it turned out a little bit how I thought. It was like I knew Sid's super slow, and so is Tella. I mean, yes, with S Wild and T Wild, there's a chance for great gear like Artie Bows and Artemis Arrows, which were amazing early on to find them. But I knew if I didn't have to do the giant, experience is going to be a little low, and I know Sid has a huge health growth. I'll just do 1200 strats. So I started looting, knowing that S quarters ongoing, I need to be able to afford 35 Star Veils, some triggers, some Cure 3s. Like, I know I'm going to need to afford this. And I'm going to need to keep the Artemis bows and the one adamant I found to be able to keep Sid's agility high. I never found a curse ring.
Apparently no one has found a curse ring. So, you know.
Oh, I found a curse ring. I loot less because I can sell the Artemis bows and whatnot.
Oh, I see.
But finding that, you know, Cure 3s were right there in Mysidia, going, okay, I know where those are. And then finding both crosses and Star Veils in Dwarf, I'm like, cool, there's everything I need to know.
Nice. Honestly, the thought of someone doing 1200 HP strats didn't even cross my mind. Like being real. Like the fact that, you know, key items will be gated on the moon, or, you know, you have a lot of equipment power and stuff. But, you know, thinking about it a little more thoroughly, it makes a lot of sense that some people, like if the cities at this Yeti, that you will go for 1200 HP strats.
Like, I mean, if you find a bunch of adamant armors early on, yeah, Berserk strats will be just fine because you've got the power of adamant. But only found the one in the treasury of all places.
I know. That was the best T-Wild treasury I think I have ever seen, honestly.
And so, like, okay, I'm going up as out now.
Yeah, the power shirt was a nice secondary offering from that treasury. To go power shirt, adamant, Excal is like, okay.
Yeah, I'm like, oh wait, there's no, yeah, sell the crystal sword, sell the 2 Excals, just sell everything. I don't need it.
Indeed.
And then of course, miscounting HP on Mylon Z to try and crumble skip failed miserably.
Yes, but it's the thought that counts.
Yeah.
That's fair. We saw you wipe because I believe our restreamer Cops pointed out that you tried to do the meta objective and then that to the 1200 HP strats for Ultra Loop, and I want to say that thank you very much.
Yeah, the first time around, I did end up knocking down Tella, but not getting the second slow off kind of hurt. Second time around, I got the second slow and was able to still bonk down Tella.
I saw that. Congratulations.
You really don't need Tella in that fight when you're doing 1200 unless you buy him a bunch of apples. But apples are expensive.
Yes, they are. Our restreamer Cops was really hoping someone would like go ham on the apples and do like an apple seed strats, but you know that's hard.
No, with apples being so expensive, it's really hard to.
Yep. So, Paulson, did you have any other questions?
No other questions for Tybalt. Just always a blast to get to either race against you or commentate on your races for Hero's Journey. I know you love this club. I do as well. I know that we both think Alchemy does a fantastic job with it. So just GG's once again. Always a pleasure to get to watch your race.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure to race these and have great commentary because I do watch these back and I do learn things from my mistakes. Maybe I should add a sticky note to my monitor for save.
just a big save icon there, like just a drawing of a big ass with a circle.
It's like save, and there's the list of check Demas, check your freebies, save. All right,
Indeed.
Well, thanks for the restream. Thanks for putting on this club, and have a great rest of your day.
You too.
Thank you. Yes, well. But it seems that like Asuka, despite having forfeited, she's still going at it. Just having a chill low level Zeromus fight, and we'll see if Asuka wants to join us on the on the restream here on the booth.
Yeah, let's see if we can get Asuka in. Talk about some of the decisions that she made, some of the choices to go through and do the different checks. Find out if some of that was just Asuka being Asuka, or if there was something more behind it. So definitely interested to see her thoughts, or hear her thoughts. Excuse me. Can't see thoughts. That's not how that works.
Well, we don't know. You never know. In this cyberpunk future we live in, maybe you can see thoughts somewhere.
Ooh.
How's Asuka doing in this fight?
It's going. She's in phase 2. Well, we can find out how that fight's going because Asuka has joined us. GG's, Asuka.
Anything but thank you.
That was like I know you wiped at the end and stuff, but that was one of the most entertaining C fights I have seen in recent memory. That was really fun to watch. So thank you very much, honestly.
I said from the beginning of the race I was not going to finish top 3, and I meant it.
Sure, that's fair. I still had a blast watching you do that Zeromus fight. Like I know you really enjoy like low level Zeromus fights, and it's always a treat. Like watching you try out.
Honestly, that fight was actually not that. I'd say that fight is probably a 4 out of 10 difficulty, so it's actually pretty easy.
Wow.
I'm just
really
rusty as heck.
Wow.
Yeah, I have 1900 HP. That's roughly like 400 more than I'm used to, especially with 2 admin armor.
Wow.
That's not a hard fight. I'm just bad.
Imagine if you weren't rusty then. Like I may have to like tune in somehow, like sometime to watch you do like some legendary low HP fights.
It's just there's no rhyme or reason to them. You just do it.
That's right. That's how I play too. Just like do it, and whatever happens, happens.
You're trying to normalize the don't bother grinding. You can do it without levels thing, but
it honestly, the way this seed went, yeah, apparently, huh? Like, wow, it's just like was such a jet.
Yeah.
It's worth noting, Asuka, that you absolutely had it on the first attempt. If you were able to get the nerfs off in the right order,
I know.
like you had it. Dead to right. That fight was through.
But then I want to finish 3rd. And like I said,
okay, fair.
Because I wasn't okay. I'm not gonna bother doing I hit my tele once. I'm not gonna bother doing the meta, and I'm not gonna take it away from somebody that actually wants to try the meta. Therefore, I wasn't gonna finish 3rd, no matter what.
Props to the commitment. Sure, I'll give it to you.
So hopefully Tybalt did what he was supposed to do.
He did. He did do it.
He did. And I do want to let you know one other kind of really arcane thing. And I don't know if you know this or not, but when you went to do the warp glitch in Dwarf Castle, you can actually stay at the inn to refresh Tella's MP and then warp a couple times, and it takes you to the Lugae crystal.
Yep, I've done that before.
You've done that? Okay, I wasn't sure. So we highlighted it on Restream. But
I think it was Ian that taught me that a few years ago.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So, Asuka, is there like a character you will enjoy seeing for like next week?
I have absolutely no idea what characters have been chosen.
Oh, that's
so I'm just gonna say Edward.
Sure. I don't think like regular Edward has been chosen yet, so sure. That would be lovely to see another Eno XP flag. We can have 2 of those in a row as a treat. Let's see what I think Table the picks. I think Table's wrong, but I'm gonna check.
Yeah. not looking at the flags until about 3 minutes before the race started.
Honestly, for someone that just read the flags 3 minutes before I was a little worried, like, oh boy, is like Asuka gonna remember the warp glitch or whatever? But no, you're on top of your stuff. Like I when I race, I need to like sit down and like study the flag set, like, ooh, what can I do here? But you're like, whatever.
Yeah. Since I can't really do mystery flags because I'm one of those people that will insta forfeit the moment I see push B jumps active. It's the closest I can get to mystery without having to worry about PB to J.
I thought about it you know what, like Asuka's playing this like a mystery seed, and I'm digging it. Like, yeah, fair.
That was fun.
I'm glad you think so. Did you have any other thoughts on like how the seed went or the flag set or anything?
No, I mean, as soon as I found Artie arrows, the seed was kind of over.
Fair.
I found the 2 Artie bows, the samurai bow, the elven bow I bought, and I was like, okay, yeah, don't really have to worry about too much more. Other than not putting arrows on my unnerf or my black hole Sid.
Oh yeah.
But the punching was kind of fun. As soon as I saw the punch, I'm like, yeah, it's not gonna work.
Like, imagine if you had actually, like, if for some reason it had dodged like 8 meteors in a row or something, that would have been absolutely bonkers.
Best I've done is 6 in a row with a white shirt form.
Wow.
But that's also why I love Porum. She is my
like dodging so many.
She's
meteors.
my Meteo dodger, to be honest.
Yeah,
I had the best luck dodging with her.
That's wonderful to hear. So it was a distinct possibility that the seed just like did that seed have an adamant armor on?
I had 2 characters with adamant armor. I was not expecting adamants to be on, to be honest. That's why I stopped at the in the treasury and said, it kind of stopped and looked at the camera and said, oh, okay. That's how it's gonna be.
Fair. So, any last questions, Possum?
No questions. Just GG to Yaska. Always fun to watch you race and do your very special brand of free enterprise, which is wildly different than what we normally get to see. So it's refreshing and a treat. So thank you.
As I like to say, I'd rather be entertaining than good, and by that I usually mean I sometimes choose to be good, and sometimes most of the time I choose to be entertaining. It's much more fun.
I think you're both.
I just do silly stuff at sea.
So, GG second Asuka, and thank you very much for racing in my club. I really appreciate it.
Thanks to our comms with Alchemy and Possum, our restreamer Cubs, and our tracker Ribbon. Hope y'all had a good day, and yeah. I don't know if we'll see you tomorrow or see you Monday. One of the two.
One of the two, indeed. So thanks a lot, Asuka, and see you later.
Take care.
Well, that was honestly, that didn't go like how I expected it to go, but you know what? All the better,
Yeah, we got some spicy Z strats, low level, either Zerkers or 1200. Both of them definitely showed their abilities. Asuka, had the arrows been on, would have been able to get through that fight, but she did not want to get through that fight and take away from Tybalt the ability to hit the meta objective. So we got to see the 1200 strats from Tybalt, which is cool to see every once in a while. But,
yes. It
yeah.
is honestly such a technical thing to do. Like Tybalt might have hit like a stride, and it may look easy, but like hitting that stride, it's no small feat. It takes a little while. It is a very technical thing to do.
You have to know the Z script, and he showed on that second attempt that he knew it. So that's great to see, and kudos.
So I will be announcing the next flag set tomorrow, and we are going to raid S-Grant, which is doing the Edge versus the Blue Planet async. So if you wanna play that, don't pick But if not, just go on ahead and join wonderful community member and club captain Escron.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking forward to watching Grunt go ahead and run that async, as I know I won't be participating in that one myself. And then the next community race that we have is going to be Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. Additionally, tomorrow we do have an unrestreamed club happening that is Firebird Lovers from the perspective of, which I believe is focusing on Palom this week. It's a very exciting flag set as well. So, tune in to the individual runners tomorrow, and then we'll see what our next community race is going to be. I don't think we have the flags yet, but we should have them coming soon for Monday night. So, as Alchemy said, please enjoy Escrunt. But for everyone, again, Cubs Rule doing the restream, Ribbon Quest having the unenviable job of tracking. Alchemy, my fantastic co-commentator, and our runners, Oscar and Tybalt. Everyone have a great day, and thank you all.
See ya.